Hey, welcome back to Activity Management, and we're at the stage where we've created our Activity Registry records, and now we need to create our Activity Manager records. So Activity Manager records, these are essentially a copy of the registry record, but attached to a specific term, so we can add additional information that's specific to that term, such as due dates for assignments. We may change exam periods. We can always change recent information. Now, where we go to do that is Curriculum Management, Activity Management, Organize and Manage, Batch Activity Generator. This is the tool we use to create the records. There's two prerequisites for doing this. We have to have the Activity Registry records, and we have to have classes created for the corresponding course in that term that we want to create the records in. Okay, so this uses something called a run control, which is a process for creating the records. Now, we're not going to create and save one. We're going to add a new value. We can call it anything we want. I'm going to call it that. Okay, so we're into the batch activity generator. First of all, we've got run mode. So we've got different options here. Generate, which creates the new activity manager records. Remove, which will delete any activity manager records that we've selected. And overlay, if we tick that, will take updates from the activity registry and apply them to existing activity manager records. But we're going to use generate at this point. Then we need to populate the institution. The source we're using for these records is activity registry. Exam only option include, it's fine. Generator options, session, session, session. And then 3160, the term we want to create the records in. Okay, add a resit description. I'm just going to call it resit. The next thing we need to do is add in the exam periods when exams are going to run if we've got exams. So I'm working in Autumn UK, that's when my course runs. I'm going to set the academic period when I want the exam to run. So if we click on this, I'm going to filter. So these exam periods are set up by campus, so I'm going to filter to UK ones as it's a UK course. Then we've got regular, UK regular autumn 2016. So this is the regular exam period for the autumn session, which is normally the end of January. So I'm going to select that. Okay, I also need to add in an exam period for resits. So add a new row, still autumn UK, because that's when the course runs. And now I need to go in, add in the resit period. I'm going to filter on the UK. And if we go down here, we can see UK resit 1. So we have one standard resit period, which is at the end of the spring semester. So I'm going to select that. As you can see, we've got resit period ticked here. Now we've got population selection. So we're basically choosing what records we want to create, which registry records we want to use in this creation process. So I'm going to go to selection tool PS query. So it should always be PS query. And I'm going to select a query that's been built to do this process. All the query does is identify the courses, the activity registry records that we want to use to create activity manager records. So I'm going to select this one at the top, SSR, which means it's an Oracle delivered query. These ones down here have been created by the university, and it's by course, because I just want to create it for the course that I've built. Then we click on Edit Prompts. So we can choose, this is basically the filters for the query. So I'm going back to my course catalog record, get my course ID, paste it in here. Have to put the offer number in as well, which is 1. Click OK. So I've put everything in I need. Now I go to the top and click on Run to run the process. And click on OK. Right, process is up and running. I'm going to click on Process Monitor. This is a process monitor for all run controls. It puts a row in for every one that you've done. Now I've got all these ones that I've run before, and now I've got this one up here, which is my current one. You can click on refresh to see how it's progressing. You can see it's down as queued at the moment. All right, now it's changed to processing. Okay, it's finished. It says it's run successfully. It doesn't necessarily mean it's created the record. It just means it hasn't come across any errors. So we need to go to Activity Manager to see if it's done that. Okay, so Activity Management. I'm going to go Organize and Manage, Activity Manager, term 3160. That's when we've created the manager records. And I need to paste in my course ID. which I've done there. It says no matching values were found. Let's see if it's lying. Nope, it is lying, and it's created my activity manager record, which is what we're looking at now. Okay, there we are. We've got exam, we've got the coursework. We can see train the trainers for, and we've got the subject area and catalog number here. And that's it. That's creating the activity manager record.